Hey everybody, this is John from NYC Geek Society here, and I'm just going to talk about some video game related news that has happened today, September 13th, 2016. So, first things first, the PlayStation 4 now has folders! Yes! High five! So, for you guys that think I'm a little bit crazy here, I just got to say that it's nice to be able to organize things on my PlayStation 4. And so basically, every now and then there's what we call firmware updates for the PlayStation 4. And it means that, hey, it says you can't go on the internet unless you update. And so then you have to wait like 10 or 15 minutes for everything to download and update. And then usually you don't see any new or noticeable things. But today, you were able to now organize your games and apps into folders. And up until this point, it's just been a random bunch of things on the initial screen that just are the most recent applications or video games that you've played. But now you can organize everything into folders, and it's all nice and pretty, and I know where to go to find things, and I'm very excited about this. There's some other functions that were added in this update, such as HDR compatibility, but who really cares about that? But if you have a 4K HDR TV, then you probably do care about that. So it's worth mentioning. They also made some other changes to, like, if you press the PlayStation menu now, instead of taking up the full screen, it'll just take up part of your screen, and so you're not like having to exit an app to like look at other things, etc., etc. So that's freaking cool. Another thing I want to talk about is was announced the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection. Now, people that know me know that I'm a pretty big Assassin's Creed fan. I haven't beat Syndicate yet, but I feel like I should go back to that soon. But they've decided to release on November 15th a new remastered collection of all the Ezio games. So that's essentially Assassin's Creed 2, then Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. And you see, folks, shows you I'm a fan because that was off the top of my head. Shows you that I'm a little dumb because I didn't write that down to begin with. But excited about that. Even though I watched the trailer and I don't notice the graphics being that much better from what I remember on the PlayStation 3, but I don't know. Still might be worth playing through them again, and even if it's slightly better, if it's the right price, why not? You know. Another thing is there has been announced a contest that BioWare is doing for being able to have lend your voice to one of two characters in the new Mass Effect game, Mass Effect Andromeda. And so you could sign up uh, and mail in your recording of a script that they have on their website for two characters. One of them is a indie documentarian. Another one is of a tough mercenary. And so I'll put the links in the description. But essentially, you just record yourself reading the lines, send it over to BioWare, and if you send it by the end of the month, I think it was September 28th. I didn't write that down either. Sorry. I'll make an edit. I'll put that in the description as well. Um, then by November 30th, they'll let you know if you won, and they'll send you over to their studio, and you'll be able to stay in a hotel for 2 days and record the voices. And sounds pretty cool. I'm thinking of maybe trying to do it myself, but I'm a little nervous because I'm not really an actor. But who knows, right? Why not try? Another thing is, anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge Metal Gear and Hideo Kojima fan. And so some news came off of some stuff coming out of the Tokyo Game Show this week, where Kojima announced that his new game, Death Stranding, will be open world, and it will also be co-op, and or at least have co-op capabilities. I don't know if the whole game would be co-op. That'd be a little weird. But I am excited that it's open world because I liked a lot of that stuff actually in Metal Gear Solid 5. Even though I don't typically like open world games, I just hope that he focuses a little bit more here because in MGS5 it went a little long, folks. It went so long that most people actually haven't beaten the game. I'm sure. Hundreds of hours to really get the full ending, and I don't really have time for that. So I'm hoping that he edits it back a little for this one. And co-op is interesting because I'm not sure if some of the online modes in Metal Gear Online have had co-op before. I'm sure it has, or probably has. I'm not a big online gamer, but I feel like that's something, at least campaign-wise, that Kojima has yet to really try. And I think that could be interesting to play through a story of a Kojima game with a buddy or two, you know? So I'm excited to hear more and see more about that, and I'm just excited anything Kojima, really. Um, and finally, or not finally, I'm gonna say something else. Actually, I'll say this first. So before finally, uh, Tokyo Game Show will be going on September 15th to 18th this week. And so the Kojima news that I just mentioned, I think was part of PlayStation's conference, which I think was 3 a.m. this morning. So I haven't really been able to look into many videos about that. Um, but the show itself will be 15th to 18th. So I'm going to try to maybe make another video or two later in the week if any cool news comes out. So stay tuned. And finally, now, The Last Guardian was delayed again. Now, for you folks that aren't familiar, The Last Guardian is made by the same people that made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And those are huge, usually classic games that came out on the PlayStation 2. Shadow of the Colossus, I believe, came out in 2005, so that was 11 years ago. They announced this game as potentially one of the launch games for the PlayStation 3. And finally, this year, it got a release date that was originally supposed to be for October 25th, but it just got delayed again now for December 6th. So I'm a little annoyed about that, to be honest. I think that, they say that, bad game is bad forever, and delayed game, could potentially improve it and make it good. And so when you want a good game that's delayed a little bit, but it's not bad, and all of that, etc., etc. But really, what it comes down to is kind of you lose excitement, man. Like I was excited years ago when I first heard about The Last Guardian and saw the first trailers because I'm a huge fan of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And over the past 11 years, your sort of excitement is gonna fade, and it's just hard to be excited and happy when you've just been disappointed and let down so much. So hopefully it'll still live up to the excitement I had for it, you know, 8 years ago or whenever the heck that was that it was revealed, and it'll still be good. But starting to lose hope, guys. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do a review of it too. Um, so yeah, it's the news that I'm kind of interested in that came out today, and this is NYC Geek Society. John signing off here, And like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell Hideo Kojima, tell BioWare and your recording of your voice. And what do you think, folks? Should I get a haircut? I don't really want to get a haircut. I like it crazy and fluffy like this, but I don't know. I gotta live in the world, so I probably should. Anyway, good night, folks.